Well, a long time no see. I know this seems to be a recurring thing that's been happening, and let me just say, I have tried. I've filmed stuff and then I've deleted them because it's not happened where I end up editing them and then they become very pointless and out of place, and so I delete them. So it's not for a lack of trying, I just have been struggling a little bit. So before we get into that, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chella and this is Chella Reads a Bit. I know it's been a long time. The last thing I put out was in November, but let me explain what's been happening. So this is going to be an amalgamation of many different things. It's going to be a mega video, if you would. Many different things will be talked about, and like usual, if you hear the TV in the background, I'm sorry, but it makes me feel better while filming because in my brain I think it helps people not be able to hear me. It doesn't make any sense, we're not gonna go into it, but like I was saying, this video is gonna encompass many different things. It's gonna be where have I been, life update, things like that, just a little chatty, get you caught up to where I've been, what I've been doing, and why I've been kind of MIA. And then also my 2024 things I didn't get to do. Well, let me rephrase that. I did do them, I then deleted them. I did film them and then it became so far removed from the time it should have gone up that I just deleted it. So that is why I'm going to be talking about that here. And then it's also come to my attention that it is the mid-year book freak out tag time, so I'll be doing that as well, and like also talk about what I've been reading, everything that's been going on. But before we get into that, if you do enjoy my videos, even though right now they are pretty inconsistent, and I'm hoping now with everything that maybe I'll be able to try to do more. It's just gonna be hard, so please bear with me. I'm not leaving permanently or anything. I just sometimes need time, or there's just stuff going on, or I'm just not in the headspace. But I'm gonna do my best to try to at least come out with videos as best as I can, as often as I can, until I am in a spot where I can do it more consistently. So just bear with me. But if you do enjoy my videos, please feel free to give a like and subscribe. I would love to have you here. It really makes my day and I love seeing you here. But let's just get into this video because I know it's gonna be long, so please strap in and get a snack, whatever, because this might take a while because there's a lot to go over. So I guess first we'll talk about where I've been. Why is it now where my last video I posted was in November, like, which was a late video, me finishing up the Bookopoly-thon, and how did I go from that to now it is June. When I'm filming this, it's June 18th. So my husband was here from November to February, which was an amazing time. It was a magical time. It was amazing, and in that time I did have that last video go out, and then I just wanted to spend time with my husband. There's like a time frame that I could be with him before he had to go back. I kind of just was focusing on that, and I was struggling to do things. Like, managing my time is a problem. So I kind of just wanted to spend all my time with him, which is fair, I would say. And also I got a new kitty cat. Her name is Mochi. She's a rag doll. I will of course include pictures and stuff, and obviously I have a bunch of backlog videos and clips and everything of her, so whatever videos I have, like any vlogs or whatever, will obviously include those, especially the backlog ones. She is on the bed right now, but I will pop up a picture or two. So she's now 9 months, going to be 10 months at the end of this month. She was born August 28th, 7 days after my birthday. So she's been a handful too. So she's now starting to mellow out a bit. So thankfully we're getting out of the kitten phase a little bit. It's gonna be a few years probably, but she's getting better. But I've had that. So that's been new. And then my husband left in February, and it's been hard because I lost a lot of motivation to do things. And then everything going on in this country and then the world. It's just a lot. And on top of that, am obviously going through this process, which is also very stressful considering all the stuff going on in this country. So it's just been a lot, and it's hard sometimes to be able to sit down and focus or want to sit down and do anything. Not because I don't want to, it just sometimes I just cannot get myself to do it, and I'm trying really hard to get past that. Since that, I did film things. Like I said, I did sit down and do my best books, worst books, surprising, disappointing, whatever video. But then it became so late. Like, it became like a month. It became 2 months. And I still hadn't edited it or posted it. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna scrap it. So I did that. And then I started a vlog, and then I ended up including that, and then I ended up scrapping that as well. It's just been a lot of starting and like not having the motivation to continue or to edit it, especially with everything going on. So I just deleted it. And then I was like, magical readathon's coming, perfect time for me to get back into it. I did start the magical readathon in April, and I was doing okay, and I did complete it after the fact, though, albeit I did complete it. But I usually do weekly vlogs for the magical readathon, but then it became 2 weeks, and then it became, okay, I'm just gonna do the whole month. And then towards the end of April, I just was having such a rough time. Like, I physically was not functioning very good, and even now I'm still struggling to sit in a car for a long period of time, sit down and read. It's really in a rough place. So like, I'm trying. There are moments where I can sit down and read for a bit, but finishing a book is nearly impossible sometimes, and like just sitting down for a short period of time to read a book is impossible, and sometimes going to work is difficult, being at work is difficult. It's just been a rough time physically, emotionally, because my husband's not coming to visit this time because money, and also I don't want him having to be in a plane for a long period of time, because when he was going back was when those plane problems were happening. So it kind of really made me decide that it was best for us to wait till he gets his visa to like permanently just be here, so he doesn't have to keep getting in a plane that is so dangerous. Even though if I could go back to Thailand right now, I would in a heartbeat. I would pack up all my stuff and go, but alas. But we just would rather like minimize the amount of time he has to travel. So he's not visiting, so it's gonna be until the process is over. And as of right now, there's still months to go on the first part, but we're hoping it's not gonna feel long, even though it's felt like ages at this point. Here we are in June, and so I work full-time and everything, and it's fine. I've made friends at work that I like, especially two people that I work with. They're my friends first and foremost, so it's nice being able to talk to them outside of work. We've hung out and everything. And in August, the day before my birthday, I'm gonna be going to get a tattoo, and they're coming with me. I don't know what I'm gonna do for my birthday. It's gonna be sad, because also recently, a few days ago, my brother and my sister-in-law and their baby moved out. That's why I'm now more comfortable. Like, I think now that that's happened, it'll be more comfortable, because we shared a wall, and I was very uncomfortable filming because I don't like the fact, like, in my head, if someone is listening to me, it bothers me. So now that I'm not sharing a wall with anyone, I feel like I would be more comfortable filming again. So that's a plus side, which is why I'm now sitting down to film this. Because I have tried, and I think I was hindering myself because I felt like people could hear me, even though it's impossible to like stop that entirely because I am in a house of other people. But it'll be easier, I think, now that I'm not sharing a physical wall with someone. So that also happened, and me and my sister are going to a festival in September. I just have to get this thing under control, because they are longer car rides. Like the one in August to get my tattoo is over an hour and a half in a car, and when I say that I'm struggling being in a car, I'm not being like funny or anything. It literally is a struggle, but I'm working through it. I finally have a doctor's appointment for next week, so you know, I'm working through it. It's just a tough time, so that's pretty much what's been going on. It's not glamorous by any means, but I've just been in a rough spot, like not only emotionally but physically. It's manifesting, and struggling. Like, I've struggled before, but I've been fine for the most part, like for years, and then for some reason at the end of April it just took a whole it just declined to the worst spot, and I'm still like trying to pick up the pieces from there, and I'm like a bit better than I was back in at the end of April. I've slowly gotten a bit better, but it's still very debilitating most of the time. So that's for, like, I'm just rambling at this point, but that's pretty much what's been going on. I just haven't had the ability, the means, the motivation to read, let alone film. I haven't been comfortable to do it. I've just been in a rough spot, and I think it's understandable, and I understand everyone's going through something. It just, you know, this is what I'm going through right now, and this is what's what. But that's pretty much what's been going on. I want to read and I want to film, so hopefully I can get everything, at least after the doctor's appointment, to a point where I can feel okay. But yeah, so that's where I've been here. That's it. And just being a mess. But let's move on from that to the 2024 things that I was meant to do, like I've done and then deleted, because I still want that to be a thing, because I wrote them down, so I'm going to talk about them. I did film, like I've said, the worst, best, DNFs, surprising, disappointing books of 2024. They've just been deleted. So if you see me looking down or whatever, I have my notebook as usual. In 2024, which now the middle of 2025, and I am now, hopefully this will go out. This will go out. Mark my words. But anyways, to start it off, DNFs of 2024. I don't really have many thoughts anymore, because it is now June of 2025. I'll just quickly go through these, especially since this video is gonna be long. In 2024, I DNF'd Son of Blood and Ruin, Adventures of Amina El-Sarafi, A Broken Blade, Rune of the Fallen, and Prior of the Orange Tree. So Prior of the Orange Tree is just a DNF for now. I'm pretty sure I was reading that for the Magical Readathon last year. It was just so big. I considered it done because I did get like 300 something pages in, but it's not like a permanent DNF. It's a soft DNF. I have every inclination, every desire to go back to it. Just not right now, guys. Just not right now. Son of Blood and Ruin, I'm pretty sure I started in Thailand before I left, and it was a Zoro retelling, just not my thing, not for me. It wasn't about it. Adventures of Amina El-Sarafi, I'm pretty sure I talked about it in a different video. Shannon Chakraborty is I don't know if it's just not for me, and I've seen people say that Amina El-Sarafi isn't as, or one of, I forget if it was City of Brass or whichever they were trying to say is not as religious or whatever, but I would beg to differ. I feel like, and there's nothing wrong with them putting that in a story, it just isn't for me. I respect it, and I'm happy for everyone who gets something from these religious tones in these books. My problem is that it's just too much for me personally, so it just doesn't work for me. But with Amina El-Sarafi, my problem here lies that it was also too religious for me personally, and I respect it in the story, and I respect everyone who enjoys it. It just was too on the nose, too preachy for me personally. I don't jive with it. I don't mind a religion in a story if it's a fictional one that's not really based in real life. I don't want to really read any Christian stuff or any kind of religion that actually is real in a book. I'm trying to get away from this kind of thing. I don't really want nor need to read it in a book, and especially a fantasy, which is mostly what I read. So it just wasn't for me. It just wasn't my thing. So that's why it was a DNF. I just couldn't force myself to continue, and the amount of times God was said, and it was too much. It was too much. A Broken Blade was when I think also a Magical Readathon was one of the prompts. I borrowed it from my sister, and I may go back to it one day, but it was just too heavy on this repeating the same thing over and over again, and I understood the point it was trying to make and what it was trying to portray to me, but I think that it did it too heavy-handed and it was too repetitive. And at that point, I've heard the same thing and the same reasoning 20 million times within the first 10 pages. I was like, I'm okay. Ruin of the Fallen, I asked my husband what I should read, and I had backlist books on my bookshelf, which I still do, but Ruin of the Fallen has since gone out of the house because we took it to secondhand bookshop and I got store credit for it, and so I was gonna try it because I've had it for ages, and then I was just like, you know what, I don't care, I'm not gonna do it, so I DNF'd it. And again, Priory, which I've already explained. So those are the DNFs I had in 2024. And then we'll go to disappointing books of 2024, which City of Brass, which I've already mentioned, was on there. It's disappointing because I was so hyped up and I was so looking forward to it, and I thought I would really love it, and it just ended up not being for me. I didn't really care for the characters. It was too religious, and I could not stand the sanctimonious main male character. I couldn't do it. I also just thought that the ending was not for me. So the next disappointing book was A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I would say that I really loved the vibe. Like, after I finished it, I missed the vibe of the story in reading it and like the act of reading it, but I didn't enjoy as much as I thought because it's been so hyped up. How, like, the actual story itself, it was fine. My problem is that it was very convenient, and the way things were, like the way they talked to each other, I just felt was unrealistic to real life. Like the way that there's this big thing that the one character, the main character you start off with, the way she has this secret and she builds it up, and then when she reveals it, and the fallout from that is so just not realistic in the way they talk it through. It just didn't feel like a real conversation. Like, I understand being understanding, like people are understanding, but the way in the story, how quick and easy it was forgiven. I can't even remember exactly if the thing that she was hiding was even big enough to warrant all of this buildup. To me, it was very okay. I don't know. I enjoyed the vibe. The relationships, the way they talk to each other, the conversations just felt very fake. Like a story, like someone wrote it, and not something that would be based in real life, like a conversation I would ever really have with someone and how they would react or talk back to me. I don't know, but I did enjoy the vibe. Like, I don't have anything against Becky Chambers. I think that maybe I could read another book by them, but my thing is I would not continue in The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet or the Wayfarer series or whatever it's called, because it's different. It's not following the same characters, and the people that it's following in the next one I just really don't give a fuck about. So there's that. And then the last disappointing was Love on the Brain, because I was disappointed because I opened my mind up to Ali Hazelwood because of something that'll come up later. It was like, you know what, I want to try their more contemporary works. And Love on the Brain was the first one that I was like, okay, I'll try that. Because I was not reading The Love Hypothesis. Like, I'm happy for the girlies who love that book, but from what I've heard, not for me. And I'm just thinking that her contemporary works maybe are not for me in general. Because Love on the Brain, I was enjoying for the most part when I was reading it. And then I got to a point where I felt like it was a good conclusion, and it didn't stop. And I was getting really annoyed. And she did a thing in the book that I heard she did in The Love Hypothesis that I did not really vibe with, and she did it again in Love on the Brain, and I will tell you what that is. It's not like a spoiler or anything. It just is like, and I don't like when any author does this or describes anything like this or uses this kind of like thing. I don't like and I don't respect when in a book you get to your sex scene and your justification for not using a condom is that you have your characters say that they have been tested and that they're clean, which really rubs me the wrong way because that's really rude to people who maybe do end up getting an STI or have something and like you're deeming them dirty or unclean because they have that, and it's already like a hard time for them and it's like already stigmatized and they're already like they already probably have this already preconceived idea of themselves when they have this thing. Using the word clean just really does not work for me. I think that it's really demeaning and degrading to people who may have a different reality than that. So I also didn't like that, and I don't like that that's an excuse to not use a condom at all, and also to have your characters be on birth control and have been tested and don't have an STI, and that's a reason to not use a condom. I still think that we should have good representation of just being willing to use a condom. They're still good things to use, whether you think you're clean or if you're on birth control, because shit happens. I want to see people being cool and fine, and it is still just as good when you use a condom. What's wrong with that? Like, call me old-fashioned or whatever, but it just rubs me the wrong way that we just have to perpetuate this fact that the only good sex is without one. But I just didn't like that, especially the clean part, which seems to be her MO. So at that point I was already pissed off, and then when it should have ended, it didn't end, and then it kept going, and then it became very unrealistic and just bonkers for no reason. The big climax, the falling action, and the resolution just was too much for me. It was so out of the realm of reality that I was like, okay, this is supposed to be a contemporary story, and this is more fantastical than some fantasies I've read. So it just pissed me off. So that did not leave a good taste in my mouth. I will give it that it was enjoyable for a good portion, and then it just was too long. And she done fucked up when she said clean. It was a record scratch, and we were done. In her defense, contemporary books, especially contemporary romance, for the most part, is not my thing. There have been some that have surprised me, but for the most part, contemporary is not my thing, because a lot of times characters' love interest relationships are very much more fantasy to me than actual fantasy books, because ain't no man talking like this. It just is so unrealistic to me. But anywho, Love on the Brain was disappointment because I was enjoying it for the beginning, and it ended up not. But on to surprising, funny enough, Bride by Ellie Hazelwood. I was very surprised. When I first came home last year, my sister shoved in my face, she said, you gotta read this. So I did. I think it's Ellie Hazelwood's first like fantasy kind of book, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I mean, the romance was whatever, and I didn't really care for the whole, what is it, Alphaverse, what is it called? Megaverse? What is it called? That like whole shifter thing, and the sex scenes were not for me. Nah, I'm good. Everything else outside of that, I mean, the plot and everything was fine, but I did have a good time. It was funny. I did enjoy my reading experience outside of the spicy scenes. So I was very surprised. I did enjoy that. So, you know, Ellie Hazelwood had a win and it had a very big loss. So, you know, she's just not an author that I would go out of my way to pick up or buy. I mean, I'll get it for my sister, but I'm good. And I have no desire to go on to the next one that's going to be coming out, Mate. My sister does. My sister's gonna be reading it, but I'm good. I'm not much of a, if I'm reading a series, I want it to be following the same characters. I don't like when it's then a new set of characters in the next book. The only one that is different from that is the Brown sisters one, like Get a Life, Chloe Brown, etc., etc. I do want to reread Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and I do want to read those two other books. Like, that's, I think, the only one that I would be okay with. But for the most part, I just don't. If I fall in love with a specific set of characters, I don't want to then move on to different ones. It's just a hard time for me. But moving on, the next surprising book was The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which could you argue might not be a surprise because I do really love the Natural series. I have read the first 2. I have not continued yet. I am always at work debating to getting all of the books because I was reading them from the library, but you know, it just hasn't happened yet. Maybe. I mean, I do plan on getting them, but I just haven't because I have so many things going on. But with the Inheritance Games, I was a little more nervous because it's more of a mystery. Well, I guess that doesn't make any sense because the Naturals is 2, but it's like more trying to figure out why she inherited this fortune. But Jennifer Lynn Barnes loves a love triangle. They really do, and I'm happy for them. But I mean, I'm enjoying it. I did enjoy the first one. I am very intrigued. It's very YA. There are conveniences. I think that it also is very predictable. Some things are very predictable, and I'm just enjoying the ride. And I have not continued since, but that's par for the course for me. But I will eventually continue. Those were the surprising ones. And I guess we'll go on to the worst of 2024, just so we don't end this section on a bad note. The worst books of 2024, The Curse of Saints. Hated that book. I don't even know if I finished it. It just was an amalgamation of many different books smashed together. It was really not for me. I did not like the characters. I can't even remember a lot of it or any of it, to be honest. I just remember that I don't like it. And we'll move on. That was a 1 star. Kingdom of the Wicked I read when I got here was also a disappointment because I have had that book since when I first started getting Fairy Loot. I have the Fairy Loot edition, and it was beautiful. It was one of my favorites. I even showed it off for show and tell in my Japanese class. And here we are, me hating it. It was literally 1 star. I did not like the writing style. I think that the way it was really, like, the writing was very repetitive, very convenient, very on the nose. It was very, like, tell not show. It was very, like, predictable. And there are stories that can have these things and still work for me, but this did not work for me because it just was not good. Then No Exit was 2 stars. Could you argue it was 1? Looking back at it now, you could. But No Exit is a thriller, and I've heard so much about it for years, and I was like, you know what? I got it from the library. I was like, sure, I will try it. And it was fine, but then there came a point where it just felt like plot twist after plot twist after plot twist, and I was just getting really sick and tired of it, and I just wanted to be over, and like felt really mustache twirly once the person was revealed, which I thought was very apparent who it was gonna be. And it just lost me after a while. It just was also grating because it was the same thing over and over again. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. And like I keep saying, it's been a long time since I've even read these books, and I meant to get this out long ago. I did film the video for this, and then I deleted it, and I've tried it again, and then I deleted it, and here we are, and I don't really remember. But anyways, after that was Belladonna, and I was really looking forward to that. I thought maybe this would be a YA that I would enjoy. I read it for the Magical Readathon, but I ended up kind of not liking it because the writing, the pace, the plot was not doing it for me personally. It ended up being somehow this girl gets to this house, and then all of a sudden she does one thing, and then they trust her. They're telling her these things that, maybe it would take a little longer because you don't really know this girl. And then I just thought certain things were predictable, and I kind of just was rolling my eyes. It just wasn't for me. Let's just leave it at that. It just was not for me. It was 2 stars. I have to be aware. YA is just really hit or miss for me. Like right now, there's an Elizabeth Lim book that is gorgeous at work, and I want to get it, but again, I have to be aware that there's a chance that it's not gonna work for me. I mean, even adult books don't work for me sometimes, so you could argue, but oh my god, it's beautiful. But maybe I will get it if it's still there, but maybe I'll put it aside for me. But anywho, that's not not important. I have to be aware that YA sometimes is not gonna work for me. And that's fine. That's fine. And there's nothing wrong with YA, and it's nothing wrong if you're an adult who reads YA. I do like some YA. I do like middle grade. So it's just a very hit or miss. Very hit or miss for me. But last but not least for this section of this long ass video is best books of 2024. And oh my gosh. First one is The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. When there's a thing that works for me, it works for me. So it's very reminiscent of Veronica Speedwell or Emily Wilde. It just is like the way it's written. English woman who is kind of more scholarly, has a hard time with social interactions, is very grumpy in a way. I just love that kind of thing. Like, it just, again, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, very Veronica from Veronica Speedwell. Those kinds of things I really, really like. And so it really worked for me. I thought it was funny. I liked the interjections because it's like they're writing their story. I had a good time. There were things that were predictable and everything, but I really, really loved it. I don't remember if it was a 5-star, but it was pretty much up there. Then the next one, oh my god. So, I know I've talked about it. I'm pretty sure I have it in a video. The Jasad Heir by Sarah Hashem. I loved that book, and it was, I mean, it's not for everyone, but I just love the meaning behind it. I liked the progression of the characters, the relationships, like the progression of the main character to getting to the point she got to at the end, the slow burns, the enemies to lovers. I loved it. I don't care for the ending, but that's just because it's not my kind of ending, not because there was anything inherently wrong with it. But I really loved the journey. I loved the ride. I love seeing the main character come to terms with who she is and how she's grappling with what's expected of her compared to who she wants to be and what she wants to do. She wants to be selfish, but then finding a way that maybe the two have to coexist, or the two, maybe, you know, you just have to do what you have to. It was so good. I just loved it. And come to find out, I totally forgot and didn't really realize, because I know someone told me, but then it kind of went out of my head because I'm just bad at new releases. But it's coming, the second book, The Jasad Crown, which is purple, my favorite color, is coming out in July. So I did put a pre-order reservation at work for a copy for me. I'm excited because I love The Jasad Heir. That was a 5 stars. Very surprising, because I read it after reading The City of Brass, and I was very nervous that I wouldn't like it, but I loved it. It was what I wanted from The City of Brass and didn't get. Instead, I got a lot of religious gobbledygook, and so I just love The Jasad Heir. It was so good. I recommend. I know it's not for everyone, and they're not going to get the same things that I got out of it, but I totally recommend. And then the last one is a dangerous collaboration, which is the 5th book or so, I forget, don't quote me on that, in the Veronica Speedwell series. And I had wrestled with the fact, like, I've talked about how it's not a favorite series. I do enjoy my time and all of this other stuff. Like, I really enjoy it, and I think that a dangerous collaboration solidified that I really love this series. And there's especially one part in that book that I just swooned over. I loved it. It really, like I said, solidified something with that series for me, especially that's a slow burn, and I love me a slow burn. I was talking to my friend and some other people at work about, like, the novel of the others, like how I love slow burns, and I was explaining how in the novel of the others it's such a slow burn and it's so good. I said it was like 5 books, and she's like, 5 books, and I'm like, yeah, and you don't really get anything until the 5th book, like the last page of the 5th book, and she thought I was crazy. But I love me a slow burn. I do not love insta love, and I do not love when in the middle of a book then things start. I just like it to be later in the book, like, not, I don't want them getting together in the halfway point. Like, it just, no, not for me. But it was such a slow burn. A dangerous collaboration, Veronica, and then I love them. It was so good. But anyways, those are the best books of 2024. And now 2025, The Jasad Crown is coming out. I still need to continue with Veronica Speedwell. I don't know if my sister has the other ones. Either way I can get them, it's not a big deal, but I'm excited. But those are the 2024 videos that I've attempted to I did not attempt to film, I did film and deleted, but those are the books from 2024 now in 2025. I'm talking about them. Sorry this is so long. I'm just trying to get everything. This is like one epic video with everything. Just want to be all caught up in everything. And for the spring equinox, I did, for 2025, it is my 4th year of the Magical Readathon. I did complete everything. It wasn't all within April because, like I said, end of April really did not like me. And I'm still trying to get over that now. But I did complete, because I read The Hunger Games, Animal Studies, I did complete that. It's my first time reading The Hunger Games. I did really enjoy it. Surprisingly, I read it pretty quick. Me and my sister were supposed to buddy read it, and I completed it without her. And then she promptly did not complete hers. So I did reread Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies to go on to Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands because they both were in my Magical Readathon. Of course, loved Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, one of my favorites from 2023, I think. And I loved Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. I love this series. And I did read This Serpent in the Wings of Night, which we'll talk about later. And I did recently finish Bark of the Everflame, which was one of the other ones. In Kami-sama Kiss Volume 1, I'm using, I think, a scroll for that. That one's complete. So I did complete it. And I'll be ready for the autumn equinox. But here we go to the most recent thing that's happening in the book community, and that is the mid-year book freakout tag, because it is June. Where's the time going? But at the same time, I'm very excited for the time to be going a little quicker because I really want this visa process to be done, because if it's not done, I might just go back to Thailand at this point because I really miss my husband. We call twice a day, but it's not obviously the same as being in the same room as each other. And also, I just really miss Thailand as well. I really love Thailand. It's that's not what we're here for. So this time I just looked up online to get the prompts, and I got mine from powderandpage.com, and I think one of theirs is a little different. I think we'll get to that. Let's do the mid-year book freakout tag, shall we? We're doing everything in this video at this point. The first thing is best book I've read so far this year. So let me be honest here first. Let me paint a picture. I have not read many a book this year. Let me go on a side tangent. So I was reading Keeper of the Lost Cities, rereading it for the millionth time in December. I finished it after midnight on the 1st, like going into the 1st. So technically it's from 2024, but I like to count 12 a.m. because, I mean, it is the next day. So I am very pedantic. You could argue it's technically finished in 2024, but I count it as finished in 2025, January 1st. So you can figure it out for yourself, but that's how I do it. I finished that, and then I've not finished many. Let me be honest. I have not finished many a book this year. So this was very hard. Technically, this prompt goes, like, this answer goes for this one and the best sequel I've read so far this year, because I haven't read many sequels. Like, I haven't read that many books. I don't remember. I'll put up how many I've read to this point on the screen, but it has not been a good reading year. Well, like I said, I cannot physically sit and read sometimes. Like, physically, I can't do it. So, best book I've read so far this year and best sequel I've read so far this year are both Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands, because I love this series. I love these characters. I just love Wendell and Emily. I just love them. It is so good. It's just, like, so cozy. I just love them, and I have nothing else to say. I will take no more questions. A new release I haven't read but want to, we're hitting a theme, is Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales, because that did come out for our anniversary this year, because we got married Valentine's Day of 2024. So 2025, I'm pretty sure Emily Wilde's came out. So I haven't read it yet, but I plan on it. I do have, because I'm me and I like to do things odd. I do have the fairy loot of the first one because I got that in my fairy loot, which I don't have fairy loot anymore. But and then I have the normal US hardcover, and then I also have the Barnes & Noble exclusive paperback. I have also the normal hardcover for Map of the Otherlands and the Barnes & Noble exclusive paperback. And I have now the third hardcover for Compendium of Lost Tales, and I'm just waiting for the paperback, so I have all of the hardcovers and paperbacks. And I know you can say what you want about owning multiple copies, but I am that kind of person, because I'm just missing the first Mistborn book in the UK editions from when I was in Thailand. So my husband did say he would get that for me. So then I'll have all of those, and then I have all of the US original paperbacks, and then the new paperbacks for the Mistborn series. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about it, but anywho, what were we talking about? So that's a release that's come out that I want to read but haven't. I don't think there's anything else really. I'm not good with new releases, like I'm pretty sure I've said before. It's just I'm not very up to date on things. I didn't even know certain people were dead until now, so we're just gonna move along. Most anticipated book for the rest of 2025. This one I only know now recently because I heard about this, and that's the Jasad Crown, because I love the Jasad air. And did I say the Jasad Crown is purple? Obviously it was made just for me. Thank you, Sarah. And then Silverborn, which is the 4th Morgan Crow book, so Nevermore, Wondersmith, and Hollowpox. The problem here lies, though, that it's coming out in hardcover, and I don't want the hardcover. I have all of the paperbacks, so I don't know. I might have to wait till the paperback comes out, because I'm gonna run into the same problem with Keeper of the Lost Cities, because I have all the paperbacks except I have 8.5 in hardcover, and I now have 9.5 in hardcover. I do have a Stellar Loon copy that is hardcover because it was the Barnes & Noble exclusive, so I guess I'll also have that, but I also will get the paperbacks. Did I just say before I do things weird? Yes, I did. So anyways, it's gonna come out in hardcover, so I don't know. But those are the two that I could remember that are most anticipated. There is a book that my sister pointed out when I was putting in for the books that she wanted to put a reservation for, that are coming out, and it's that Julie Soto book. I think from what she said, it's Dramini fanfic that is now being published, and it's a beautiful edition. So I'm not anticipating it because I didn't really know anything about it, but I'm looking forward to it. Biggest disappointment so far is Serpent in the Wings of Night. So the reason it's a disappointment is because people were hyping it up so much. There's people at work who really loved it, and they really made me believe that maybe I could enjoy it, because when I looked at it before listening to them, I didn't have any inclination or want to read it, because I didn't do anything for me. But then they made me think that maybe I would really like it, and then I really didn't. I really hated it at the end. It was just, I cannot recall everything or anything because I just don't care. I didn't care. She was just annoying. The main love interest was also annoying. It was just so blah, blah. Read it before. And there's books that I've read before that I don't mind in another book, but I did not care at the end of that. And the ending, for what? I would not continue. I never mentioned how I felt about it to these people because I don't want to burst any bubbles, because I did not like it. It was not for me. So Serpent in the Wings of Night was not for me. Biggest surprise so far. So hear me out. I know I just said Serpent in the Wings of Night was not for me, but whenever this book came out and everyone out was buying it, so at work people were just buying it left and right. Not people from my work, but the customers in general were buying this up. And I was like, you know what, I'll try. And that is Quicksilver. I really, like, from the cover, I was like, this is gonna be bad. I mean, it's let me just say I enjoyed it for what it was, not because it's like some crazy amazing story that is so different and unique, which nothing has to be unique. It just, I liked it for what it was. I had a good time. I enjoyed my time reading it. And like, is it crazy or spectacular, the best literature? No. It was the right book at the right time. And I think that's all that matters. And I really enjoyed it and I had a good time, and I'm interested to see what the next one brings. But Quicksilver was very surprising. And then also Fourth Wing, which there is a caveat. I am technically still reading that one. I put that down to do the magical readathon, but I was enjoying it to the point I was reading my sister's copy. So it was to the point where I went and bought my own copy. So I was enjoying it. I was having a good time. It was doing what it was supposed to do. I did, because the paperback for the second one did come out with the edge that the first one has. So I did, in fact, get that as well. So I was very surprised, because I was really hell-bent on never reading Fourth Wing, but then I was struggling after my husband left, and my sister was like, just read it, you have nothing to lose, because I mean, I'm already having a bad time, and then I was having a decent time, so that was very surprising. So the next 4 I don't really have answers for, because I haven't read that much. So new favorite author, don't really have one. Well, maybe that's not true. Heather Fawcett, I guess, would be a new favorite author, because I have read the 2 Emily Wilde books now, and I loved both of them, so maybe Heather Fawcett. And I'm not one of those people that necessarily, like, any book that they write, I'll get. I just enjoy that series. New favorite character, I don't really have one, because I haven't read that many different books to have a new favorite character, because I haven't really read many a new book. I don't think any of the ones I have read have stood out to me to have a new favorite character. So there's no answer for that. A new favorite ship as well. Again, Wendell and them. Emily and Wendell. Not really a new ship. No, not really. I don't really have a new favorite ship. Because Zayden. I was gonna call him Xander. Zayden and Violet. They're fine. I mean, they're cool, whatever. But not my new favorite ship. So I don't really have an answer for that. And a book that made me cry, I don't think any of them did. And again, I haven't read many a book this year. I could probably count on one hand, because I read Keeper of the Lost Cities. I've read Hunger Games. Okay, maybe more than one hand. Keeper of the Lost Cities, Quicksilver, Serpent in the Wings of Night, Bark of the Everflame, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which was a reread, the second one. I think that's pretty much. I'm currently reading The Spell Shot with my friends, and I don't think anything else. Anyway, that's not what we're here for, but I've not read many a book, so I don't have any that made me cry. A book that made me happy, obviously, Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. Is this riveting or what? It's just all been Emily Wilde's, pretty much. The most beautiful books I've bought this year. We got these beautiful editions of Dragonfall and Emberclaw in, and I didn't have any desire to read Dragonfall, but Emberclaw is purple, and I am a sucker for purple books. We also got in The Neverlist, which was a book that I had no idea what it is, and will I enjoy it? Maybe, maybe not. It is like a reverse harem, I think. Or like, no, it's a Why Choose, which I guess is that a reverse harem? I don't know. I don't know anything. But it's purple, so, you know, I'm a sucker for purple. But the most beautiful, actually, pull. Okay, so I didn't pull The Neverlist out because I was too lazy. But anyways, here's the Dragonfall edition. Red is not my favorite color. I actually pretty much hate red, but I needed to get the first one to get the second one, but they're beautiful editions. Like, the inside is not that spectacular, but it is a beautiful edition. And I don't like hardcovers, but of course all nice copies come out in hardcover. And then there's a beautiful purple. I am a sucker for purple. Look at that. So I got those. So those are beautiful. But the most beautiful has to be this one. And let me explain. So I got the Watch Me special edition. Like, look how gorgeous this book is. It is gorgeous. So, okay, let me explain. So, I did read the original trilogy of Shatter Me. The first time I read it, I had all 3 books, right? I did not like it, so I got rid of them. And then I rebought them. And then I did read all of them, and I did enjoy it. I did really enjoy it. But then I heard that there were going to be more, and I didn't really care for what was described with some of the characters, so I didn't want to continue, so I got rid of them. And now when one of my friends from work told me about it, and I saw it, I was like, oh my god, I gotta get it, because this is gorgeous. This book is gorgeous. Like, just the edges, oh, I could stare at them for ages. I don't know anything about this. I think it's in the Shatter Me universe, but it's not following the same characters. I'm gonna read it. I want to reread, now that I'm thinking about it, I want to reread the other ones, like the Shatter Me books, like all of them. Like, read the original trilogy, then the newer ones that came after that, and then this one. But that was a beautiful, beautiful book. I could not help myself. I had to get it. Yes, I know. I make no sense. I literally buy editions that yeah. And then I got, like, the Ava Reed Fable at the end of a Fable for the End of the World or something like that. It's beautiful. Do I plan on reading it? I don't know. But my sister said she'll read it, and I just have it for my shelf. But anyways, I work with books. I can't help it. So the last one is books I want to read by the end of the year, and you could argue any of them, all of them. I want to read them. Like, there's backlist ones that I really want to read, because we got new editions of The Kiss of Deception. Let me talk about this real quick. Kiss of Deception has gone through how many changes? So I have the original paperback cover that I thought was beautiful, and then they redid it in paper, like the paperback editions that look so stupid. And I do have them because I got the box set, so I had the other 2 books. So I have 2 copies of the first one, and again, this is going to show my ass here. The original first paperback and the first of the newer one, and then we got these new ones that are beautiful to me because they're simple. They don't have a person on the cover, and they have sprayed edges, so I have those put aside for me. But do I know if I'm gonna like this series? I don't know. I need to read them. But I do have them aside because I really want them. But anyways, I want to read all of them. I have so many books. I need to get back into the Mistborn series because I do have ideas for a video, like a vlog series for that, or just a vlog series for certain things in general. I haven't even read 9.5 for Keeper Velocities, which is in Keith's perspective during the events of the 9th book. But I want to reread the Keeper of Velocities again in the lead up, even though I don't have my Stellar Loon. I do have the paperback, the normal paperback now, because I got it when I got home and I started working at my job. So I got the normal paperback, but my nice Barnes & Noble edition of Stellar Loon is in Thailand right now. Regardless, I want to reread that. I need to reread all of Nevermore for the next Morgan Crow book. I just have so many. I need to continue with Skyward. I finally have my other books back, by Brandon Sanderson. I want to read the Faithful and the Fallen. There's just so many, but what I wrote down is Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, since I did start Fourth Wing. I put finish first era of Mistborn, and just read in general, because I am struggling. Like I've said numerous times now, I'm just struggling to read. Like, physically cannot do it for a long period of time. Who knew breathing was such a problem sometimes when you just want to? But I am hoping that maybe doing this will help me get better at reading again. Not even better at reading. I mean, there's nothing really this can do for my physical problems right now until I go to the doctor, but I'm hoping that it will help me be more motivated to actually do it. Because I haven't even been playing game on my laptop. I haven't even been cross-stitching. It's been a struggle, guys. But I know this has been a long video. I know it's been very rambly, and I know it's been all over the place and not as riveting, but I just wanted to get everything caught up since it's been so long, and I now feel comfortable because I'm not worrying about someone listening through the wall. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, it's long, and I know I look a mess, but I figured it would be just a chill, sit-down video, just me catching you up on everything and anything, all of the 2024 videos, doing the mid-year book for Gao Tag, and just trying to get back in the swing of things. But I really hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate your patience with me, and just know that I have every intention of coming back. It just is gonna take time before it's more consistent. I just need to figure everything out that's going on and just get through this time apart from my husband. It's just a lot, and I know we're all going through a lot, so I just appreciate your patience and being there and being understanding, and I hope you will continue to do that, because I'm not gonna promise any consistency or anything. Just know that I have every intention of being here. It just might take time every so often, but I do have plans. It's just acting on those plans that's the problem. But I will get there, and I hope you understand. I appreciate it. But if you do enjoy my videos, please feel free to give a like and subscribe. I would love to have you here. It really makes my day, and I love seeing you here. I will try my best to be here more often, but I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.